Yo, okay, guys. Hey, I think I have figured out what was wrong yesterday. So we are back. We are back. We are back. Just let me know that you guys can hear me, guys. At this point, I am the biggest Orlando Pirates fan there is right now. Let me just make sure that my time is fine. Okay, welcome, everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Josh Mokwena. I am your host. And this, of course, is a place where we love South African football. We love African football, and every now and then we go overseas. We love South African football so much here that we have pulled up an Orlando Pirates preseason game in order for us to enjoy. Okay, so welcome everybody. Like normal, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday the show is on. But then if Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana are in action, we will be here. Couldn't be on for the Banyana game, but here we are watching Orlando Pirates finish off their games. These two teams are in two different positions. Orlando Pirates, of course, number 2 in the log, 27 games played, 19 wins, 3 draws, and 5 losses. They've scored 42 goals and they've conceded 19 for a grand total of 60 points. Then, of course, Magesi is number 13, 27 games played, 8 wins, 6 draws, 13 losses. They've scored 18 goals and conceded 30 for a grand total of 30 points. Then, of course, Magesi in the last 5 games of 2 draws, a loss, and 2 wins. Last game out was a 1-1 draw versus Gallants. Orlando Pirates has 2 draws, 2 wins, and a loss in their last 5 games. Last game out was a draw versus Amazulu. And then these two teams have met twice before. Each of them winning 1 game each in this. The starting lineups are Chain in goal, Mayela Sibisimboga Azishandu, Silepe Mbata Maswanganyi, Nkota Mpukeng and Radiopane. Then Magesi side is Chipezeze, Mekua Matima, Mahoka, Vandala, Abrams, Mokone Mchali, Butelezi Chirambadare, and Sibanyoni. Hi guys. I was saying that at this point, I am the biggest Orlando Pirates fan out here because I'm watching this game, pulled up a training match, a preseason game. We're watching a Pirates preseason game live right now because if Pirates were to win this game, of course, they don't change. They're still exactly where they are. But if Magesi wins this game, they actually get to jump into the top 8. So Magesi right now sitting number 12. If they were to win this game, they would go to 33 points. Oh, actually, no. Can they win it? Let me just check. Okay, no, they can't get top 8, but they would get top 9 and push Chiefs into 10. So this is what this game is. 5 minutes in. Let's see what they're going to give us because over the past few games, Pirates has been giving us some dull matches, man. Pirates have switched off. They're done for the season, out of office. But it's almost like we're forcing them to come back into this. Now, what I am going to do for this game is since yesterday we were speaking about financial fair play and I kind of got disconnected during the game. Everything went haywire during the show. I'm going to allow us to continue that conversation while we take in this Pirates performance. So if you want to continue speaking financial fair play with me, feel free to jump in while we watch Pirates and see if they can up the standard here and beat Magesi. What's very interesting about Pirates, What's very interesting about Pirates is that these are the type of games that they should be winning during the league in order for them to stay close to Mamelodi Sundowns. So Pirates' problem has always been a little bit of a mental issue where they switch off on some of the games. And this would have been incredible practice for when you guys are completely not up for it. Can you go and win the games? But yeah, the games in hand situation has made Pirates not want to do all of that stuff. Ow! 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 We got a set piece. Come on, Pirates, guys. We got a set piece routine for Tito to score. Yeah, we got a set piece. I repeat, Pirates scores via a set piece routine. I guess not having to play serious games is really allowing them to practice some things. Orlando Pirates is now 1-0 up through Utito. That was a nice goal. That was actually a very nice goal. Wow. Okay, thank you, Pirates. They've taken the lead in their game here. Let me see. Marauti, is this game necessary? Guys, it's a necessary game, Theo. Pela, bangak jump, Antoine. Oh, cheapazets. The whole season you've been cheapazetting. This time you don't cheapazets after this. Aye, cheapazets.
Wake up, nigga, wake up, nigga. Wake up, nigga.
Pirates and Golden Arrows wins. Chiefs is going to play more playoffs. No. Well, technically. Technically, no. But Chiefs, I get a Golden Arrows. I mean, can kick Golden Arrows. Then Cape Town City have to play that little finish off their game. If Magesi wins, they jump to number 9. Chiefs goes number 10. And then, if Golden Arrows wins, Chiefs goes to number 11. So it's not playoffs. May Magesi press them further down, says Dumi. What is this Marakoza playing a warm-up game for next season? If Pirates are okay, wait. Maraison Pirates man, basadlali league namanje. Ish. They're chasing, man. They're chasing. Maybe Bakai Kreya. Who knows? Maybe Bakai Kreya, they can get something there. OT yesterday, you allowed Sundowns fans to speak crap. How? Tangaman, to speak crap about what? Ati Chipes, this is our future goalkeeper. Now said Khalil is losing form, Theo. He's losing form, Theo. Yeah? But hopefully Magesi can find something in them to come back into this game. People are obsessed with champs. Tabi says leaves. Who must I leave alone? Naniki keleta math aus in Tabi. Referi Serona. Remete next season. About financial fair play. Oh, we can continue the conversation, guys. Michelle says, Michelle, you're live from Orlando Stadium. What are you doing, Orlando Stadium? How do you change sides when you guys are in a Champions League final? That's when you change sides. Okay, so one of the big things coming from Magesi, obviously, was that Uwanda Boy Makubu is injured. They've gone back to a little bit of that old Magesi that we saw earlier in the season. Because remember, Magesi are actually champions. Magesi have the Carling knockout in their pocket, beating Sundowns in the final of the Carling knockout. And a part of that was leaning heavily on your Wonder Boy Makubos, your Chirambadares, leaning heavily on your Dino Abrams. Dino Abrams, if you remember the 3-2 versus Pirates when they came to Orlando Stadium and they were able to beat the Pirates 3-2. Those are the players that were playing. But then, of course, we saw a change. Hendrik Larsen, is it? Hendrik, yeah, it's Larsen. Like Clinton Larsen, Hendrik. Clinton Larsen leaving his post and then Rabatol coming in. And Rabatol has actually done very well. Owen Takama, ODG, making sure that this team has gone from relegation safaras into possibly a top 9 finish from where they were, which is insane. And maybe, can I ask, can we include Rabatol as a contender for coach of the season, or did he not coach enough games? Similar with Miguel Cardoso. Mapule, thank you so much. You know we're a retirement village. Hi. Michelle, who are you going to go watch? There's so many, my men, Baba Kanakak. You know we're a retirement. Theo, we're actually having this conversation. I don't want Chiefs to sign any other players. People are talking about Saleng. I don't want Saleng at Kaizer Chiefs. I don't want Saleng at Kaizer Chiefs. I don't want players that have won things elsewhere coming to Kaizer Chiefs. Honestly speaking, especially ones that have won 5 trophies in 3 years. Bangezi. They tend to retire when they get here. There's people speaking about Sipom Bude. Please. No, thank you. No, thank you. Wherever Sundowns shops, wherever, I guess, Pirates shops, wherever Steady shops, go shop there. Go shop there. Don't shop at these teams that are getting rid of players. Here comes Pirates again. Okay, let's see. Is City and Arrows playing? Yes, City and Arrows are going to be playing. I forgot the date, but I know that's going to be a 12 o'clock kickoff to finish off that game that they were playing. Was it? Yeah, it was City. It was Supersport. Supersport and Golden Arrows. Supersport and Golden Arrows. Cape Town City is pushing because they want that to be finalized so they can know whether they're number 14 or number 15. Currently, Supersport are number 15, 1 point behind Cape Town City. So If SuperSport wins, they jump Cape Town City. Cape Town City goes to playoffs. If SuperSport loses, they go to playoffs. Cape Town City stays in the league. So that's what John Committees is pushing for right now. We need hungry players. Yes. Tomorrow we're going to Lucas. Yeah, it's tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Lucas Moripe. They taste that celebrity life and then they don't give us anything. They taste it. Umnandi Chiefs, the support. But then it's like, I don't want any of these players to be there. But anyway, we are 13 minutes into the game. Pirates is, of course, leading Magesi 1-0. Magesi, up to this point, has not been able to do anything. Up to this point in this game, it has been mostly all Pirates, but Pirates also, it seems like they're playing in gear number 2, gear number 3. They're in the preseason gears. They're in the preseason gears because this game doesn't mean anything. Stellenbosch can't catch them. They can't catch Sundowns. This is the worst place to be for a team, guys. Can you imagine having to honor this fixture? Yeah, but like a Pirates, guys. But like a Pirates. No way. There's no way. Guys, you can jump in. I'm going to treat this like a normal episode because yesterday I got cut early. So if you want to continue speaking about thingy with me, about 2010. If you want to continue speaking about financial fair play, Dangamani, you feel free to jump in and we can speak about it just to finish off what we were speaking yesterday since I had some technical issues there. Okay, let's see. Hence, I asked, is this game necessary? Yeah, I mean, it's necessary for Magesi. It's necessary for Magesi, man. They could go to number 9 in the trophy season. I mean, that's a good thing, Theo. That's a good thing. So obviously, Magesi came into this game to defend. They came in with a 5-4-1 according to their starting lineup, which tells you everything you need to know about how this game is going to go. Pirates is going to get a lot of the ball, and they're going to play around quite a bit and maybe open up Magesi a few times. The trick about playing low block is that low block is not just low block because there's a lot of players. It's low block because you're organized. And Magesi has not been organized, but here they come. Oh, almost an on goal. Hey, what a play. What a play. Come on. Kichiramba. No, it's Vandala. Okay, Vandala signed this season, right? If not January, he was signed this season from cheaper, wasn't it? Next season, please. Mapagane, don't do games in hand. It's boring, says Nicole. Humoto says, so who's going for the playoffs? It's still to be decided. There's still drama in the first division. Well, okay, there was drama. It's gone now. Durban City is go. Oh, counter-attack. Oh, gotcha. Outpacing the defense, only to have it saved. Either win or not, Ngigazi must be an assistant coach again. Marasanele, aren't you guys being unfair on poor Mandla Ngigazi? I mean, can I just stand up for him for a second? Guys, you've lost the Champions League, right? You've lost out on the league. Your coach has left. Isn't coaching Pirates right now one of the toughest jobs psychologically? Like, these players are not, you're playing meaningless games. Isn't it difficult for you to want to bring players up right now? And don't forget that this form didn't start with Ngigazi. So why are we blaming Ngigazi so much for this? I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm not saying that he must be the head coach, Marawa, guys. Aren't we being a little bit tough on Ngigazi, especially right now in the season? Fatigue, all of those things are creeping in. Now, my fans were Pirates are tired. I see Tammy is there at the stadium, but he wasn't even watching the last game. They said they were tired, they were done. Malume Kutu was also saying it. Uti, these games are unnecessary. Why are we expecting Ngigazi to do miracles now? I don't understand. Magesi, please win. I want to see something, says Fistos. Defending, same old story of SA football, playing low block. No wonder Nebi hates these teams. Magesi, win. I want to see something on the log. Fistos, let me go and put my over 2.5 in Betway. Over 2.5. Theo, you're going to trust Pirates with an over 2.5? I don't know, eh? Lee says true OT. Brenna says we need a real coach. Since says hello, OT. No, Mara, Prena. Le unfair though. Le unfair. You guys trust European coaches that you call plumbers when they get here. You trust them, nje, out of the blue when they arrive. I still don't know what team Jose Rivero was coaching in Finland. But the moment a foreigner lands, you guys trust them. Somebody that you have to what. Now these local coaches, mind you, Mandla Ncigazi got to a CAF Confed final when he was coaching with Fadlu. But you don't dare local guys. Yeah, this is what kills local coaches. What kills local coaches is that they're not trusted by management, by fans. And when it's time to make changes, they don't get the same leeway. Nangunabi. I know I won the Nedbank Cup, so thank you, Coach Nabi. Thank you, Coach. I'm just using you as an example. But Nangu Coach Nabi, worse record than Kevin Johnson, than Mulifin Ntseki, than Ata Zwane, then I think even Gavin Hunt, if I'm not mistaken, should Magesi win, right, in the league. Gavin Hunt and Ata Zwane for that time. But yet everybody's saying, give him time. Mara, we weren't saying give him time when Kevin Johnson was in charge. We weren't saying give him time when Tseki was in charge. We weren't saying all of those things. Guys, le unfair. Ngigazi to lead Pirates says Anunnaki. Brenna says he's doing a good job, but we need a real coach. What is a real coach, guys? At work, I bet Magesi win 100 Rand, so I want to see something. Here comes Pirates again with a free kick. They already scored via a very nice worked goal. They did a set piece routine. Here comes another one. Okay, never mind. I take it back.
What bafana, man. Oh, what?
Guys, okay, can we have that conversation? Do we give local coaches enough credit, time? Do we give them enough control? Are there coaches locally that you could trust? Let's say with the Pirates. Okay, let me ask that. Let's look at the coaches in the league, available and not available. Who would you trust with Orlando Pirates? So if I could say to you, I'm giving Orlando Pirates right now, which local coaches would you say you can trust with that job? Eurocentric bias, says Letabo. They did us dirty, says Sanele. If number 14 play today, I will pay Lobola tomorrow. Who's number 14? Number 14. Number 14 is not gonna play, guys. Number 14 is not gonna play. What if? I like the username is what if. Guys, Saleng. Guys, the part of the reason why Jose left is because of some of these situations. That is all I'm gonna say. Pitso, Rulani, Benny. I will still trust Roger Tessar as a Pirates fan, says Sanele. Actually, yeah. We spoke about this the other day. It's not like European coaches have done that well in the league. It's not like, I mean, Gavin Hunt has 4 leagues. Gordon Nicholson has 4 leagues. Coach Pitso had 4 leagues. That's already 12 out of the 30 that were available in the PSL era. Who else? Oh, excuse me. That's already 12 in the PSL era. I'm trying to think of the other guys that have won leagues. I guess do we count Augusto Palacios as one of our own? Lebotet Dimitri. So it's not like they've been that much better out of the. Neil Tovey has won, even though maybe you'll say half because he was coaching with Miguel Camondi. Can we say that the European coaches have been that good? I don't think so. I don't think they've been incredible. Oh, and then of course, do I even mention Abo Rulani and Abo Mangoba? So the majority of the leagues have been won by South African coaches. If we're being 100% honest with ourselves, why don't we trust them more? Tins, tell us. Tins, yeah. Letabo says Siama is even coaching. I think he's coaching in Lesotho. He's coaching in Lesotho. The only coaches in SA you can trust, Pitso and Benny. The rest will drink you. Based on what, Bong? Based on what? Rulani has won. Yeah, Rulani has won. We're impatient OTS fans, we're South Africans. The minute your team does do well, we fight. Lee, do you know what's crazy? Do you know what's crazy? My issue with South African fans and South African teams is you're not setting people up to go and win. So take, for example, I'm going to use my team, Kaizer Chiefs. Whenever we've had local coaches, we don't give them the license to do certain things. So again, I'll use the example of Coach Nabi. Everybody's saying right now, Coach Nabi needs these players. We never allowed Atazwani to get his players. We never allowed Gavin Hunt to get his players. He was in a transfer ban here. Ntseki was technical director. I'll put him aside. But we don't trust them enough to give their visions. And the example I always give is that Pitso is Pitso because Patrice Motsepe said, no, I trust this man. I picked him. I interviewed him. I hired him. So if Pitso was to arrive at Pirates, for example, do you think that he would be allowed to have transfer control? Would he be allowed to change the play that Pirates plays? Maybe make it gritty and go win stuff? Would he be allowed to take youngsters out and play some of the players that maybe he enjoys? Would he be allowed to bring his whole technical team in? All of that is given to foreign coaches. All of that is given to foreign coaches. So Upitso is Pitso, Rulani is Rulani, Mangoba is Mangoba, based off of Tate Motsepe way back when saying, I am going to trust you to make the signings, you to bring in the players. Who knows what Magesi could do if he's given all of the control. Barahan, okay. How many does Tovi have? He has one. Majority of local coaches won with Downs. They have millions at their disposal. Not really. Remember, Sundowns has 8. 8, 9. I believe it's 9. In the Motsepe years, it's 9. So 9 of the 15 come from the Motsepe years. And then you look at Gavin's 4 was 3 with Supersport and 1 with Bidvest. You look at Igesent was with Manning Rangers. It was not meant to happen. He won with Pirates. Then he won with Sundowns and Santos. Yes, he won with Santos. So it hasn't been all about money, to be fair. Oh, hey, these set piece routines. Now Pirates is really treating this like preseason. Pirates is really treating this game like preseason. I've never seen Pirates do set piece routines like this. I have never. And Magesi's nowhere. Oh, Magesi's nowhere. You can't play low block and just think low block is having a million players at the back. You have to coordinate. Like you have to pressure Pirates in certain places so that they don't release the ball easier. Pirates has been. When last did you see Pirates play centrally? Because usually they're under pressure. These guys just, there's a goal. But
hayi wabe kuwukuthi ke sesivukela khona ke futhi sayophinda futhi sizame asifeli moya sizama kuze kulunge ngoba sini
awukhonali shim.
Open goals. Theo, I told you about this 2.5. Open goals. And he couldn't score that. Okay, let me see. We're impatient OTS fans. How many does Toby have? Kanti, there's still some Betway. There's still Betway football, Koran. There's still Betway football. Betway is giving you a chance to get your last monies from the league. Imagine giving Johnson his players. No, Paratio, why? Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? That's what I'm trying to say here. Why wouldn't we? Now, coach wako, ubonisile ukuthi hayi ama lights are not on. Mara, we are giving him his players. Why wouldn't you give him his players? This is what I don't understand. But then you're going to take a foreigner, some foreign coach who you've never heard of before. Guys, let me put it like this. Jose Rivero was coaching in Finland before he came here. Finland. Yet we trusted him. But okay, to be fair with him, no preseason, didn't get to side. He proved himself. I'm going to be fair with him. But how many of these foreign coaches have we just let do Mawaza, Nje? Pitso won't work at Pirates. He's not a building coach anymore, says Litabo. Lee says, very true. Look at the national team. Fans wanted Bruce to go. Now they have changed tune. Let him play his football. Let him, at the very least, let him try. At the very least. I still say, ne, my dark horse, the coach that I would bring in for Pirates, and I know you guys are going to say I'm crazy for us, Mangoba. Mangoba plays Pirates football but anyway, give him a chance, says open. Ratraina uti I tins I humnati ko Orlando man. Also, but over 2.5. Yeah, Theo, I told you. Pirates started their preseason early. Did you forget the last 15 games of last season, OT? Oh, did you forget all of this season, Theo? But you are willing to give Nabi all of this. Did you forget where are we right now? Theo, where are we right now? I don't even have to look far. Konamanji. Where are we right now? Maraniti, the wallet must be open for Nabi. I thought they were playing for Chow. Kaizer Chiefs, 32 of possible 84 points, 40% in percentage, says Sugar Spice. But as going down the drain, says Nyovi. Where did Amazulu get Pablo Franco from? Where was he coaching? I'm forgetting where he was coaching. Marakere, we were told that he was a Real Madrid. You know what? Let me leave it. Now, Atazwane, no players, and he's taken Amazulu to where? Okay, get sharp. And the Nedbank buys him time. No, I agree. Maraka Tswana Tio. Yes, Fanela. Tito 2 goals in a row. He's chasing the golden boot. Pirates is going to draw this game, says Litabo. It's an open game. But the moment that Magesi wakes up, guys, can somebody please explain this to me? I just need somebody to explain what these PSL teams do. So have you noticed that when PSL teams play bigger PSL teams, so Magesi is playing Pirates, Magesi versus Sundowns, whatever, they go into their shell, they defend very poorly. It's almost like all men behind the ball. We don't want to make any chances. We don't want anything. They defend very poorly. They concede. They always concede. And then once they're trailing, second half, you'll see Magesi towards the end of this half, start of the second half, they'll be playing crazy football. Why do that? Because then it becomes harder for you to go out and score because you are behind. Maran figile, nazalale defense nyana yenu. That doesn't make sense. Like, I can somebody please explain it to me? I don't understand the logic. And then once you start, you see, for example, watch how Magesi has changed from a back 5 to a back 4, and they've started pushing the wing players up. Look at how much better they look in the last 2 or 3 minutes right now. Look at how positive they look and how much pressure they put Pirates under. And then you wonder, why don't you do this from the beginning of the game? And then if you go 1-0 down at that point, that's when you go, okay, guys, let's shut up shop and look out for the goal difference. But why do they do this? Also, sidebar. Can I just mention something sidebar? You know how everybody said Mamelodi Sundowns is unfair? How Mamelodi Sundowns has to play certain games during CAF Confed and stuff like that. Guys, Pyramids is currently in action. Pyramids is currently playing. Look, you see? What did I just say? They open up, they start going forward, and they score. Why did you not play like this from the beginning? From the beginning. You could have been 1-0 up right now, when now you waited until they scored. I will never understand.
But for now, guys, lang disappointed and then never
Mapagania. Mapagania. At the end of this, Mapagania. At the end of this, Mapagania. But anyway, Magesi,
But for us, we are prepared, we are determined. And this time around, we are very serious.
Pirates.
Kasongo ye Mombali nanga Kasongo mbona wewe.
Okay, let's see. OT, where were you during the Sundowns game? Ish, guys, I got a call from head office. And they said I must come in. So I was at FNP, guys. Sorry, I was at FNP. Oh, but say Zwagala. So Kazwagala. Chirambadare with the goal for Magesi. Chirambadare scored for Magesi. A player that, what did I say in the beginning of this game? He was one of the linchpin players for Magesi. Obviously not him scoring himself, but he was playing the balls into Abo Wonder Boy. Very, very important player. Wait until Dino Abrams, I believe Dino Abrams is on the pitch. Wait until Dino Abrams is allowed to go at the players. Think about the game that Magesi played versus Sundowns. Very counter-orientated. And if there's one team that is vulnerable to counters, it's Orlando Pirates, especially because they leave the two at the back. Usbisi Nombogazi. I know Mayela's on the pitch to try and make it a 3, but if they can catch them off, actually, why do I even go to Sundowns? How did Magesi beat Pirates in the Carling? Transition, aggressive play from Chirambadare. Actually, I don't even have to go that far. Look at how they're playing. Why don't do this from minute 1? Why do you not want to do this? Anyway, Pirates should not fix what's not broken. Let them continue bringing in those coaches as Apiwe. No, Apiwe, I'm not saying that Nigazi must be the coach. I just don't like this thing we do where whenever it's a local coach, we immediately say, nah. And then they show him on the screen. Whenever we see a local coach, we immediately go, nah. But then when we see these foreign coaches that we don't know, we've never seen in our lives, we go, oh yes, UEFA what license, and we let them go. That's all I'm saying. Lee says, for argument's sake, each game differs from the opponent you play against. No, that's very true, but they tend to do the same thing. They tend to do this defensive, I want to swear, but they tend to do this defensive thing in some of these games, and you're like, Maracais. Letabo says, once they concede, they have nothing to lose. Yeah, but it's harder for you to come back. You're already losing. That's why you've got nothing. Well, you're losing the game. You've got nothing to lose because you're already losing. Right? It would be better if they weren't losing. And then once they got into a place where, you know what, guys, we're getting overwhelmed, then you can go defensive. Because what was likely to happen if Pirates were able to keep this at 1-0, there was going to come a time where Magesi was going to attack consistently and they were going to open up a lot of spaces at the back if Magesi didn't get the score. It's a little bit different now that Magesi has scored, but you get what I mean. You look at the teams when they play versus Sundowns, they concede the 1 or 2 goals, then they start pushing, and then all of a sudden Sundowns has 2 more goals because now you guys are outside of whatever. So this nothing to lose also means that you're already losing. It's like these teams who became Barcelona's when they play against Chiefs as Apiwe. I told you guys, Magesi just equalized. Chain is Vuma that went to duck. Nyovi says, OT predicted. I'm just saying. I was to Magabanye, OT. Chain the Vuma from Temu. The real ones were at Loftus, OT. Like I said, I got a call from head office. Okay, I got a call from head office. When we put in proposals and we made requests to Sundowns, they said no. So unfortunately, guys, so no clean sheet for Zeze and Chain. Who scored for Pirates? It was Tito, very early on. Shandu, Ering preseason, Bongwane, Kiki preseason. Bashabili preseason, like, Nyovi says Vasco da Gama is a fast-paced technician. Vasco da Gama. Rabatol Owen da Gama. When did Amazulu get their overseas coach before Zwane? From Spain. Ice Boni. So why Why must you come here? Guys, Chiefs is done playing.
Each time when I come here, I am abused.
Chiefs is done playing, guys. Chiefs is done playing. Please leave me alone, guys. It's fine. Let me celebrate. Where it is, guys, get the unknown coach on paper. Ramovic, Sid Ramovic. Even, what's his name? Pekanovic right now. So many fouls, but no cards shown. Sanel, it's a preseason game, man. It's a preseason game, but Sanel. Kanti, le ref ni tatapi. There's no stakes in this game. When Bobby calls, you answer. Listen, Theo. Listen. When you get the phone call, you never know. Maybe this will be overthinking Kaizer Chiefs. For those who've been with me since the beginning, you should know that this started as overthinking Kaizer Chiefs. Just by the way. They declined you because you support the wrong team. Litabo. I want to complain, but it's fine. What was Pablo's coaching cost pain? I'm forgetting the team. Preseason game, just like they tried. You guys are the worst. 8 minutes in, it is Pirates 1, Magesi 1. In the second last Betway Premiership game. It is the second last one, because tomorrow they're gonna finish it off. Who said half a game? I just want to make sure that I'm not talking. Yeah, who said half a game? I was really super sport. Mara, what was Sundowns thinking when they got Lopez many years ago? Apiwa says those cards must come out. We also have Bodu suspended next season first match. Wait, do they carry Apiwe? I didn't know they carry. I care. Let's Takara Chariton by SAP status. I'll be assistant coach overthinking FC. I'm ready, guys. I'm ready. Let's do it. We'll buy an SAP coach. SAP. We've got everyone. Agent can be one of the analysts. Malume Kutso can teach us the dark arts. There's so many people that we've got. How many analysts are here? Libo coach coach Picasso guys, let's do it. Let's put together money and buy a team. Chiefs is going to be playing against Polokwane City for the last time. Angeke. Buddy Pyramid's profile picture. Hi, Kevin. Theo has been a Pyramids fan since it was what was it? I suti something. I'm forgetting Pyramids before it was Pyramids. Theo has been a fan. Vivi, and what was he coaching? Kwabo Bongs. You get what I mean? Okay, 40 minutes in. You see, Magesi's come out of their shell a little bit, but they are heading into squeaky bum time, a critical phase of the game. So right before, it's 5 minutes from the beginning of the game, 5 minutes to halftime, 5 minutes to the start of the second half, 5 to 10 minutes before the end of the game. We call that critical phases. A lot of teams may fall asleep, looking out for halftime, waiting for halftime to come. Some teams make mistakes at this crucial time. So for the next, I would say 6 minutes, because there wasn't too much there weren't many stoppages. We're probably going to try and see if somebody can't get something. Magesi needs to be careful with pushing forward. Ow. Percy Tau and Masilela are sitting at the stadium. Percy can plays for Qatar SC, ne? Qatar SC. Oh no, Coach Picasso is here. I'll be third assistant if it exists. Yeah, Coach Picasso, Abodindo, Khalifang is the coach. There's a lot of coaches, guys. We would have a very good team on that side. Supersport is playing tomorrow. Their half game, 12 o'clock. Lucas Morepe. I want Magesi to win to see Chiefs down, says notification. Mara, guys, why are we doing this, guys? Please, Tina, it's finished. Cela ungiyeke, please. 1-1, what's happening? So what happens if Paris win the guy Mara agent? Liqalile. Agent Liqalile. So much hatred our one. Qadile. Okay. Let's see if Magesi can get something here. Was that offside? I guess that was offside. We've got a couple of minutes left. Remember, halftime, I'm going to let 5 people in. We're going to have a conversation about what we've seen here in the first half. Guys, I know it's preseason. I know it's a friendly match. But let's also practice analysis for this game for the Club World Cup. If Paris by Beto Magesi, in Yuga, says Messi. Guys, we're going to have a conversation next week. Next week, we're going to do Overthinking Football awards. We're going to have the awards next season. We're going to vote. We're going to do all of that stuff, right? So, yeah. We're going to do playoff. We're going to do the season awards next season live, next week live. So I'm going to put out some forms for us to vote, and then we're going to make sure that we vote for the players and stuff like that, and have an award ceremony, proper one. Yeah, Overthinking Football. Paris Mayonyisi Magesi. Please. Number 10, please. They practice for next season. The only gap they were, wow, agent. Patrick says, yeah, the Shandu is one of the players that needs to exit. But Shandu's loved so much. Do you think, okay, guys, if Paris doesn't sign any players, let's say they don't sign, we know what Paris is like. What do you think of the depth? I mean, when you mention Shandu, I think of Munyani, Libito, I think of Van Rooyen. You know, for example, right back, center back, I think of Bogas, this BC, Cesar, Netoki, Da, still going to come back. Excuse me. Oh, trapping boy. Oh, Trapapolo. Radio man. How do you feel about Pirates' depth? Can we mention Bosaleng? Because this season you had your Makaulas, your Mbatas, your Silepes, Bodlamini. Tim was going to be available at some point, Musele. The Pirates is a stacked team, if we're being honest. What do we feel about them next season? Me, I stopped making jokes at other teams. Apiwa says, this friendly match determines Magazi's CV. Do you think he stands a chance to be hit? No. Pirates would never hire him, and it's not because of his experience or ability, to be honest. Pirates and Ifuni win. Ifuni Makis. Stanky! Messi. Pirates, please win this game. Please keep a little bit of Tunzi. So way to accept leave. Matululi will fit better. Ooh, interesting. On those, the right back. Mara, aren't you doing too much bringing in Matululi on top of Van Rooyen? You just signed Van Rooyen. Theo says, should we re-sign Chirambadar? Theo, if we were to bring in Chirambadar, I can guarantee you that Shiva and Morris would score at least 12 goals between them. If you know, you know. At least 12 goals in between them. Saleng has been shut out. Wait, Pirates is still looking for a coach. They are, Tevin. They apparently. I don't know. You'll never know. Pirates moves in silence. To be competitive, you need 33 top players. The blueprint has won it 8 times in a row. They're killing competition with agent. Pirates, please, 3v2. Offside. Wow. You waited until he ran offside in quarter.
Bafana.
Watch a man. He watched a man run offside. 9-9. Yo, OT never mentioned Chirambadara and Chiefs again. I was just answering a question. Mufali, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hola, Uzi.
How do you feel about this preseason match?
Yeah, before I get into this game, the heading is simple, Uzi. It's simple.
Yeah.
500,000. Go to SAP there. Check. Pitori, Centurion, Overthinking FC, head coach George Mokwena, assistant coach Picasso, analyst Lindo Pep. Technical this thing is simple. We don't need to overcomplicate life. Life is simple, guys.
I don't know. I'm not a head coach. I'm a chairman.
Yeah, whatever.
I wanna WhatsApp starting lineups to my coach.
Yeah. OT. This game, it's overall. This game, it's an indicator, or that's not the right word, but it shows you the imbalance that there is in the league between the top two teams, Pirates and Sundowns. Hey, Chiefs, you are suffering that side, but that's fine. Top two teams and the rest.
Yeah.
It shows you the imbalance that there is in the league, because you can see these teams, they don't come in with a, what can I say, they don't initially, they don't come in with as you said, they wait for a goal, they wait for them to have nothing to lose. OT. Then they can do what they actually want to do, because they knew they already lost the game. That is a power imbalance, OT. It's a power imbalance, because you can't come into a game saying we're gonna sit back and not do what we really want to do, because of certain factors, obviously, because they're just Paris is just a better team. But I feel like if more teams in the league stepped up and say, okay, let's come in and play our games and play our game, I don't think we'd have so much of a power imbalance.
Do you think that it comes down to money? Because everybody's speaking about Sundowns' money and things like that, but then you look at Magesi versus Pirates right now. In the last 10 minutes that they played was a very great 10 minutes. Maybe if they started that way, they win the game. Is it a mentality thing more than it is finances for the teams in the league?
No, it's a mentality thing more than finances, because as I said, the thinking into coming to a Sundowns game or a Pirates game is not how can we win these matches. The thinking is how can we survive. That's the thinking. How can you survive? Not how can you get 3 points. So the mentality has to change. The thinking of the teams has to change and say, and it also it improves the overall quality of the league, because instead of coming and say, okay, let's sit back, let's play a 6-3-1. Let's come into the game and play a 6-3-1. Instead of, let's say, okay, we're probably gonna get beat anyways, but let's get beat while doing our own thing as well, and while applying our own philosophy as well. Let's not just get beat. Let's not just get beat, essentially like everybody else, where we just sit back and play this depressing football. I think it's more a thinking change and a mentality change, that rather than it is more physical, even financially.
I'm gonna come back. Let me bring in Bongs. Champ.
Yes, champ. Yeah.
Man, champ. Reshebile man Bomaki. How do you feel about this game?
OT. Ne se ke tjho ke re fela wa hopola na bi press conference ngwe itseng after game ya Polokwane City le Kaizer Chiefs. Are no. The teams that tshwanang le bo TS Galaxy le bo Polokwane City, they are higher than him because of the fact that they are playing this nonsensical game called low block.
Yeah.
So how can he win against a low block? Attacking, and they're only thinking that one counter attack will win them the game. It shows no, these teams are trying to survive. Exactly what Magesi is doing right now, trying to be a survival of the fittest instead of just playing normal football, but enjoy a game. It's not like this game is even important. But survive but then looking for next season.
Yeah.
Let them play the game, an open-minded game. But we open it together. The league is over. What's the point of playing low blocker when the league is over? These 3 points mean nothing. It's just a warm-up game for next season.
Yeah.
Bona ba
Mara,
batla ho
Mara,
ba
Mara, Bongs,
motivated.
Bongs. Is it also a problem that even in the league, they don't play this football? They don't play exciting football, high energy football in the league. Isn't that the issue, that they can't wait for this game to play like that? For example.
Right. Nna te ke be straightforward. Ba ska ba balla ha rona re lo shebella La Liga or Premier League or Italian Serie A. Re
Yeah.
sa shebelle Betway. Ba ska ba balla ha ba lose viewership because of the nonsensical football ba e bapalang. Because we are
Yeah.
sick and tired of watching this game. Re batla game e tshwanang le Barcelona le Inter Milan, an open-minded game where goals are coming in left, right and center. Not
Yeah.
every day re tlo dula re bona a game e fela ka 1-0 because of a low block or ba bang ke bana ba afraid to bapala le Sundowns ba e tshaba ba entse ke ke badimo ba football. It's high time now we start fighting and not surviving.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
By the way,
Yeah.
OT, since let's start a team, I want to be part of the media. I want to do media rounds for the team.
No, hi guys, it's fine. Let's start the team. Actually, let's see if we can actually start the team. Let me go to Patrick. Patrick, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Mr. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Tell me about this game 1-1.
I am disappointed about my team, man.
Oh.
It's a case of the other team is just there and the other team getting too excited to get good possession and doing nothing about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like Pirates players are just excited that they are keeping the ball. They are not even keeping their shape. I mean, that goal that Magesi scored, where was Shandu? I mean, the ball is played on the left. He's nowhere to be found when it shifts to the right. He was nowhere to be found. Why are you not keeping your position? Because the overload is on the left. You're not needed on the other side.
Yeah.
So I feel like all the players are just too excited to play their last game and they don't really care. It's just about let's just kick the ball and see what happens. Also, but anyway, not to bring the referee has been helping even Magesi. You know what? You get demoralized when you getting kicked and then the referee is just saying no cards, nothing. It's the last game. I'm not gonna give any cards. That's also not advertising the spirit of football, because now if it's a foul, it's a foul. Give a yellow card. If it deserves a yellow, give a yellow card. No matter whether it's the last game, the first game, or it's the first minute of the game, just officiate properly so that we enjoy the game. Because now it kind of like kills the spirit of the players, because they know they're gonna get kicked. And the others, they know they can kick anybody, and then nothing is gonna happen. They're not gonna suffer the consequences. Also, I don't think Magesi will win this thing. They're just there for vibes.
Yeah.
Paris players are just there to make sure that they sabotage Magesi, so that Magesi doesn't get the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point of view on this game, Mr. OT.
But I want to ask you. If Magesi was to come out and show a little bit more confidence, would they be able to take advantage of what you spoke about with Pirates players maybe being out of position and taking this game for granted? Could they maybe steal something here?
Yeah, I think if they can attack the wings, the wings, that's where the Shandu's overlapping is not backtracking. Even Maela on his side is not backtracking. So if they can take care of that space behind Maela and Shandu, I think they can get something out of it, because now they have Chikambarandare, or that guy he's actually a speedy customer who can give CBC and Bogazi a problem if he's been fed balls in between them. So I feel like they can, if they attack those spaces, they can hurt Pirates a lot in this game.
Bukale, can you tell me what changes you would make in the second half, and what your prediction for this game is going to be?
It's unfortunate that Uwanda Makuba, I think I don't know how long he's been injured, but he's been injured for a while.
Oh, he got suspended last game. He came in and then got suspended.
So he was injured, then got suspended.
Yeah, basically.
What are we doing here, boys? But it's fine. Magesi, play how you play. You know, you have nothing to lose. There's no point in sitting back. Play how you play. I agree with Bongs when he says that the viewership. You know, OT, my uncle, he left the PSL a very long time ago. OT, because he said I was watching PSL with him. I think we were watching Vets and Swallows game, Vets and Swallows back then, like a couple of years ago. And he said to me, he's like, what nonsense are we watching? And it was highlights. Highlights are supposed to be entertaining. He's like, what nonsense am I watching here? Nil. The, the historical, the classical PSL nil on highlights. Doesn't the highlights were not even entertaining. So Magesi just come out, you know, play your game, release Edmo Chirambadare. And for Pirates, you know, I want to see more youngsters. Actually, this game, I wanted Udlala to start, the goalkeeper Udlala to start. Just bring in more youngsters, man. I mean, this game, it means nothing, you know. And let's just let the youngsters express themselves, you know.
Predictions?
And prediction, I'd say 2-1 Pirates. 2-1 Pirates.
Butlali, they were watching highlights and they were like, yo, the highlights are not highlighting. Bugs, change the second half. What's your score prediction?
Botlhale le ena o bua nnete ha re no, they should give the youngsters a chance. So le nna ke batla ho bona hore na bo Yanga Madiba ba tla kgona ho bapala in this game, na ba tla thola a chance to have a run around in the field. So also
Lena lebata Nikazi abe fired. Ay.
Ncikazi is not fired. Ncikazi is safe. He's an assistant coach. He'll stay an assistant coach.
Yeah.
If Bakamukila, he'll drink Orlando Pirates. He can never fight Sundowns. Imagine fella Sundowns yona ka hlong ya bona ba re, okay, we are giving Kompela full control of Mamelodi Sundowns. Ke moka o re Sundowns relegation tla. Kompela is one of the coaches of South Africa. Tse rege tse ka coachang these teams. Hona le tse bad. Bona Owen the Gama o tla ka 90s football ka 2025. We tlisa Magesi.
Yeah.
Bona Eric Tintler ko re yena o tshwantse a retirement home. Ha ke tsebe why a ntse a coach le yena right now. He's finished.
Marakimo,
The idea
he's got one of the best records in the league. On the Gama since he took over.
All right, let's wait for next season. Re tlo bona o tlo etsana. And o tla mpotsa. Bo Eric Tintler before re fitla le November fired. The first coach to be fired ke Obel ke Owen Dagama o batla Eric Tintler. O tla mpotsa. Ba re ne ke le matla. We hope
prediction.
Orlando Pirates must win 2-1. Orlando Pirates need to win 2-1.
Patrick, changes it make and the score prediction.
I box on Polaya. I would put since they're not gonna take this game seriously, I would put Madiba and just take Mahela out. Mahela does not deserve a 90 minutes, man. He's old, he's tired, this man. You can see Uri, he does not even know what he's doing. So put the youngsters there, and then if you're gonna lose the game, at least give the youngsters the opportunity to lose the game. But if you win it, at least win it with the youngsters.
Mara, you're gonna take out a man playing his testimonial game.
Di mano khathetse.
Next season, Imael.
Hey, hello to Ncikazi, by assistant, you know. 2-1 Pirates, I think.
Okay. No, guys, thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna keep it open. Please feel free to jump in. We can speak about the game. You can speak about anything else. If you want to ask me a question or get my opinion on something or get the comments opinion on something, feel free to jump in. Let's have a conversation. But we are about to start the second half of this game. Orlando Pirates, of course, 1-1 versus Magesi. Let me see. Yeah, Orlando Pirates 1-1 versus Magesi. Goals coming in from Tito. And then, of course, Chirambadare scoring for Magesi. We're seeing the first change. Masigela is coming on. What's up, man? Excuse me. Let me just make sure. Anyway, okay, let's start. So guys, feel free to jump in. Okay, second half has started. Let's see what changes the two teams make. Magesi ended the half a little bit brighter. They started playing a little bit more football, being a little bit more open, pressing Pirates in some cases. But it does seem like they are going to revert back to the back five. You can see it forming right there on the pitch. They'd almost gone into a 6-3-1, as was said by the guys that were here analyzing with me halftime. Let's hope that they don't stay in that formation and they put Pirates under a little bit of pressure, and maybe also in Pirates' case, they may be hoping to open up a few more gaps after Tito scored, and then of course players like Mbata hit the crossbar, guys. There were 4 shots, 2 on target from Pirates in the first half, and 2 shots, 1 on target from Magesi. Butlali.
Since Kiawana gore the show alinya go tsena, you'll have me again, you know. It's alinya go tsena again. It's fine. OT, this thing, I want to get your opinion on this thing, yeah, PSL, yeah, the status, you know, because it was touched when Pirates was playing Super Sport, this topic, but you know, I wanted to expand on it. This thing, yeah, the status, where you know, teams in and out, you know, I know, you know, teams are facing financial struggle. I know, you know, they're not. Most teams are not even. I think 90%. I think there's only a few teams that are breaking even, you know, or even making a profit, you know. So I want to, you know, please, I want to get your opinion on, you know, the status, you know, and how, you know, status could be, you know, not ruining the league, but kind of, you know, eyes are being attracted away from the league because of this thing. Yeah, you know, teams coming in, not even promotion. They're just coming in from nowhere. A billionaire can make a team today. Call it what Wealth FC, and Wealth FC can be in the PSL. Next week it can be in the PSL and buy Magesi or buy what. So so ownership rights. Do you think that ownership rights and stuff like that should be, you know, because we lost a lot of iconic teams in the in the PSL. So do you think ownership rights should be separated from naming rights, brand rights, that's the correct word. Brand rights should be separated from the actual ownership of the club. Yeah, that's my question to the panel as well. So the comments.
I think okay, I'm gonna start off here. The reason why status buying exists is because, unfortunately, financially, the PSL is not in a place where they can dictate to owners what they can do or cannot do. So if you look at a lot of the changes that are happening, is because teams are becoming bankrupt. So take, for example, Raleigh M. If I have a lot of money, I do not want to buy Raleigh M because I'm going to inherit all of their problems as well. I'd much rather create my own problems by bringing in my own team than to inherit everything. If you look at Mamkhize, for example, when she bought Bloemfontein Celtic, she had to inherit everything. Hers wasn't necessarily a straight status buy, but she inherited all the contracts. At some point, they had 2 teams. They had to figure that out, moving players, all of that stuff. So a lot of people might not want to get into that. But also, when you look at these when you look at these teams and the way that they're owned, then the other problem becomes that people don't want to let go of certain other things. So, for example, Bloemfontein Celtic don't want to let go of the name Bloemfontein Celtic, the branding and all of that stuff that's behind it. So that becomes another issue on top of it, because even if I wanted to buy Bloemfontein Celtic, the owner says, "Hey guys, I don't want to do this." Now, in a perfect world, the teams would be running well, would be well run, well admin, well everything. And what would happen is that a coach is taking over a team that is doing relatively well. Tate Motsepe takes over Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns was not doing badly. Obviously, the Chiklas family was maybe feeling a little bit of pressure, but they were not doing badly. So it's not like he was starting from scratch. And then it makes sense for me to buy Sundowns as it is. But does it make sense for me to go and buy Wits, knowing that I'm gonna have to contribute to it to the level of a Bidvest that had been contributing, and I'm gonna have to take care of all of these things that are there and the issues that are there. So I understand why the league does it the way they do, and it also makes it easier it should theoretically make it easier to bring ownership in. But the big problem for me with the PSL is not necessarily the statuses. My issue is, are you vetting the owners that are coming in? It can't be that I'm coming in to own a team, I last 1 year, 2 years, and then I'm gone again. I think that's my problem. The bankruptcy, the people getting bankrupt, that's my issue. Yeah, Bushan?
Then I ask you this question and say, in the long run, does this thing of status buying, because teams are losing their brand, and these teams, if you can go 20 years back and say the PSL probably had a lot of fans, I don't know, but the PSL probably had a lot of fans, also coming to stadiums and all that. So in the long run, don't you think that the league makes less money because of the reduced brand of the league itself? Because if a new team can't carry over fans, OT. You can't carry over fans, right? So if you're saying the league 20 years ago had more, the average match attendance was higher, doesn't the league make less money in the long run?
I think for me, what I'm saying is more of, can you get owners that can run teams for 10 years? Okay. You get what I mean? Then I wouldn't necessarily mind the status stuff if I knew that an owner that's coming in was going to build something that was going to be here for 10, 15 years. Or besides that, get owners that are fluid or liquid enough to be able to do the brand building side of things. The outreaches, maybe have a stake in a stadium for a very long time, or a stake in a municipality or an area for a very long time. But the fact that the owners that are coming in, Libona, they can't sustain a team for a year, 2 years, it dies out so quickly, also adds to this brand thing. How can you build a new brand if you are only around for a year? I mean, right now, as it stands in the league, there's only 3 teams that have been in the PSL ever since the beginning. We're probably going to lose Supersport, but there's only 3 teams. There's only 3 teams. It's Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns. Supersport is the 4th one, but we might be losing that team. So now most of the teams that are left either haven't been around long enough for them to build a brand, or number 2, the owners are not able to pump in enough money to go do brand building activities. Golden Arrows has been here for every season, barring I think one in '98, for example. You look at Mamatu and you say, "Oh, Mamatu, what are you doing then to make Golden Arrows something bigger than it is right now?" You get what I mean?
Yep.
So that's the other part.
So what's the way that these clubs can use to build? I mean, we see the Springboks, everybody loves, let me not use the Springbok because it's a national team, but teams in the rugby league, how can we incorporate those activities that they do to have such big brands, and the league have be such a big league, respective to the PSL compared to the PSL? How can we inherit what are the activities that we can inherit that as a league to to expand our brand and our reach and our pull in Africa and in football as a whole?
You start with your local. Like, for example, we were speaking, there's an episode of 3-Man Press that's going to come out tomorrow. There's a conversation we had about TS Galaxy, right?
Yep.
TS Galaxy is a team that is Mbombela. They rep Mbombela. Okay, they rep Mbombela, they rep Mpumalanga.
Yep.
But the head office and everything is in Gauteng.
Yep. Same with Supersport. They're in
Supersport is
Randburg.
So
Yep.
yeah,
And they play in Pietermaritzburg.
Kukune is also Johannesburg, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So you sit back and you go, okay, if you can't even convince the people from where you are, when do you see them? When do you reach out to them? When do you bring them in? Why would somebody else look out? For example, if you look at rugby, what made rugby what it is, and it's struggling right now, but what made rugby what it is was provincial. You knew that the Cheetahs are here and the Cheetahs run Free State rugby. Everything to do with Free State rugby runs through the Cheetahs. Even if it's something small like you go, Chippa United, every footballing activity should be going through Chippa United in the Eastern Cape, right? Registering players, visibility. I live in Pretoria, in Centurion, but when I lived in Pretoria, closer to the Hatfield side, there's no rugby thing that happens without you seeing the Bulls, right? They're in the community all the way down to school rugby. High school rugby, there's a Bulls car there with a Bulls official. You might see Victor Matfield show up in Jay out of the blue, right? So when you sit and do all of those things, you see that it's outreach. You start, look at what Celtic was able to do in Bloemfontein South, in Bloemfontein, just by building their community first. Our teams don't have communities. Marumo Gallants, one season they're in Bloemfontein, the next season they're in the Northwest, the next season they're somewhere else. How do you build a community around that? You know? And some of them,
don't you think it's hard to do that for a team that's situated in Gauteng? Because Gauteng, you have the three big teams. You have Chiefs, Sundowns, Pirates. So, don't you think it'd be smart for these PSL teams to spread? There's no team in the Northern Cape, and there should be at least two in the Eastern Cape, divide the Eastern Cape a bit. So don't you think everyone should not be flocking to Gauteng?
I don't think it's a problem because, like, for example, we know where Pirates is from.
Orlando.
You get what I mean? Orlando. Chiefs, Pefeni, Glamour Boys, you can speak about Naturena. Tell me who's a Gauteng-based team?
Yeah, OT, this is why why are these teams changing names and relocating after being bought? Because now, re lositse di-team tse kae in the league, right now. We lost teams like Helleniki, we lost teams like Val Professionals, we lost Bo Dynamos, we even lost Ria Stars. Exactly.
Black Aces.
Exactly. The original Amazulu, Leona Haisaleyo. Because Michael Morton or the original Amazulu. This is not the real Amazulu. This is another Amazulu. It was Hellenic, then Binoni Premier United, then Tandara Zulu at some point.
But then, Bongs, now my argument is just that I don't even think you need to name it something. We should know. I don't know where most of the teams, what is their home place? Where can I go and say that this is the town, Magesi? I don't know, let's say Magesi. Where can I go and say Magesi comes, like Black Leopards, we knew Toyando.
Yeah.
The people that Toyando knew, they were all there. They sold jerseys there. They had the community in their hands. We knew. But with these guys,
sorry, does that not come with, us, the league not allowing teams to own their own stadium or own at least large stakes in the stadiums?
No, you don't need to own a stake in the stadium. Well, that's municipalities. Technically, no one's allowed to own stadiums. Even the rugby teams.
But you can't, if you move, but you can't move around if you own the stadium. If you don't own the stadium, then it gives you more leverage to, to move around. That's the point that I'm coming at.
Well, Akere, in essence, what I was going to say was that the rugby teams also don't own their stadiums. They've got long-term leases. But then would you give a long-term lease to a PSL team? Take for example, Royal AM. The municipality around Herikwala gave them 33 million over 3 years. Within 6 months, Royal AM is gone. So it's like, again, I think it comes down to literally also just the administration of these teams. Why would I do all of this stuff if the team itself is not going to be self-sustaining or a reason? I always say, what's the reason that I support you? What is the reason? Why would I want to wake up one day and go watch Magesi? Is there a player that I like? Am I tied to them via where we stay, maybe? Am I tied to them via a sponsor? Are they in my community? Why would I wake up one day and go to follow Magesi, for example? Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves too. But I want to ask Bongs. Bongs, did you yeah.
But I want to know, King Ayenton when or supported Kaizer Chiefs all these years, even when they are losing.
Number one, my father, but then number two, those guys.
Not this, my father.
No, but
Not
those
this,
guys
my
worked
father.
hard. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I have a memory. I'm just a boy from Kotema. I have a memory of Chiefs coming to play Ajax Cape Town, Kotema Stadium. Like,
Right.
it's a vivid memory that I have where Gordon Eggerson was coaching Ajax Cape Town. They had a Legends game before. They were doing outreach all over the place. When you look at Kaizer Chiefs, I know we say it's a big brand or anything, but they work hard to make sure that there's no social media will open the way you don't see Kaizer Chiefs. When they launch their kits and stuff, Jessica is all over the place, everywhere. You can't sneeze without seeing Kaizer Chiefs. All of those things are planned. How many teams are willing to do those small things? Chiefs goes live when they arrive at a stadium. Have you ever seen Magesi do something as small as that?
What for the free things? They come and send you things that Kaizer Chiefs, merchandise like Kaizer Chiefs, mahal.
Pirates,
'Cause
they
then
shot,
I got something.
I don't know if Maronza is here. Pirates shot an advert. They did a whole advert, Go Orlando, when they did a whole thing. They brought together all of the supporters and they did all of this stuff. I know these things feel like they're stupid, but those are the type of things that help. The teams in England, Arsenal, and a lot of those teams, they did a campaign. Arsenal did a campaign now where all of the businesses within that area, the small businesses, the barber shops, the little fish and chip shops and whatever, they made them adverts. Saka is standing inside my chip shop, whatever. They're creating connections. Teams don't create connections anymore. Tina, here's
Just
another
like-
one. Here's another one. Kotema, we used to have a tournament. I don't know if it's still there, but we had a tournament Easter at the end of the year. You know, everybody would be there. We're not Swallows, we're not Chiefs. I remember Oscar Ntwahai used to play for the team sometimes. We used to see all of those are bonds that you build. You get what I mean? Manjitina, we just want people to
Just
follow
like
for the sake of
Pirates.
following.
Pirates are doing food drives every time ba tsamaya ba lo fa batho dijo, ba sokola.
Also, before I leave, nah.
Very quickly, yeah.
Yeah, very, very quickly. Guy, where's our Nedbank documentary, man? Like documentary, a young changing room like Pirates. Guy, I mean, they are starving us of content. Can we just get a documentary, nyana? Just nyana. I will shout.
All the teams should be doing it. You don't even need to do like a full-on
Shapela
documentary.
Jessica tweetinyana mono mme bo tla o araba botlhale. Mo shapele tweet.
Let me bring it.
Kaizer Chiefs is always there.
Bongs mang.
Let
Jessica
me bring in agent.
shapela fela tweet she. Shapela fela tweet botlhale.
Agent.
No, I'm here for a different conversation. You guys can finish that
Yeah,
one.
we can go ahead. For time's sake, 63 minutes in, it is 1-1. Pirates preseason game. Agent.
Is it being played in Spain, this preseason game? No, man. You guys shouldn't forget that also Sundowns is giving us free entrance and entrance ticket. That helps.
Yeah.
But we're not there. I don't know, man. I'm concerned, that one of my favorite coaches is going to Zamalek,
Hey, bud.
Is it the right move?
No. No.
Who is advising him, and also as a coach, if you're being advised, is it not up to you also to refuse such kind of advices?
Yeah. I remember we had a conversation about Coach Rulani a long time ago when he had just left Sundowns. Remember, we had a conversation to say that is he is he following in the footsteps of Pitso? Yeah, agent. And didn't the lessons that Pitso learned up there, shouldn't that have informed some of how he's moving?
I mean, they should, but among some already practically or maybe technically not, doesn't we feel that we're dead? What happens if you feel as Zamalek? Will any other team want to touch you?
Even besides that, here's my question. Maybe there's two choices for Rulani, for me personally. It's either you go Europe or try get into Europe or try get into another country or whatever, another continent, or you go to the top level of wherever you're going, like go for the Ahly job. And the reason why I say this is, are we going to watch him try raise another giant that is struggling? And what type of pressure does that put on him to raise that giant? And what does that look like? What does failure and success look like at a team like Zamalek? That is my fear, that you're going to go to Zamalek, they're going to do the fanfare, they're going to give you everything, going to say, we're getting one of the best coaches, what. And then it's like, yeah, then you're going to finish number 3.
What is the chant, man? What is the chant? Maele, or am I here? What is the chant? Yeah.
And then you're gonna win some games, and then they're gonna fire you again because the expectations are up here. You get what I mean?
Yeah, no, true. I think that's my issue, that when you go to Morocco, at least in Morocco, you know that Wydad is the guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Aras Berkane had a crazy season, as far also is always there. So Wydad is the guy. He's the guy that's able to spend all the money. Now you go to Zamalek, who are now 3rd place. What's an improvement for them? You know, what do they consider success? Is being merely 3rd enough for them?
Yeah.
You know, considering you're not going to have the financial muscle of Pyramids and Ahly, you know, so you're not going to be signing all those players in, you know. So I think that's my biggest worry, that he might go there and maybe win a cup, but that may not be enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Would Rulani have been better off? So Nabi obviously left AS FAR. I think they were number 2 with Nabi, and then obviously lost out in the finals. He left that job. AS FAR was open. Raja was open with Zimbabwe when Zimbabwe left. Do you think that Rulani would have done better at a team or at teams that are already at the top? Do you think that maybe he's underestimating, or he's not a development coach? Maybe he's not a raise from the dead coach. Would he have done better with those two teams?
No, most definitely. I think at as far, it was gonna be good. You know, sometimes I always say, sometimes it's all about waiting, man. It's all about waiting. You know, if you know you're going to a team you're not familiar with, I would rather go in season so that I have a breather of at least the rest of the season and pre-season to get acclimatized and everything. You know, just to learn the culture. Because had he just waited a bit, Raja Casablanca is collapses, you know. And the moment they collapse, because expectations are raised, that's when you come in and say, guys, I'll save this. You know, so I think it's all about timing, you know. And I think he's repeating the same mistake again. If you want to maybe be a pressure cook, maybe wait for Pyramids to deepen form, and then you can come in at Pyramids, you know, and know that you're going to compete, you know. Or maybe wait for the inevitable firing of Jose Ahly, then come in, you know. So yeah, I think sometimes it's just all about the timing, you know, of when do you get in. And to your point, where do you get in? Because I think he can't develop to save his life. I think when he was tasked with maybe rebuilding Paris, you saw how that went. So no, I agree with that.
So is it a case of knowing your strengths and weaknesses? In that, like Pep will never take Everton.
True.
You get what I mean?
Or Man United.
Man United, he'll never take those teams. Do you think that our coaches maybe lack in that? And is it maybe because, if we're being honest, we had Pitso who went to the top level in a different country, in a different country on the continent. Rulani might be one of the. There's only been a few that have done it. He's maybe number 2 or number 3.
Yeah.
Is that does that play into this? Maybe not knowing.
No, definitely. I think it maybe goes with age. Sometimes that's why I say sometimes age exposes him, that he's still wet behind the ears, because for his caliber, he should, if you are to go to a lower league, let's say, for example, you go to DRC, know the team that you're going to get, TP Mazembe or nothing.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Egypt, it's Ahly or nothing. Look at what Pep did. It was Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man City. You're going to the top clubs.
Bayern Munich, yeah.
Bayern Munich, So it's all the top clubs, So I think, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I wonder, who do we blame here, an agent or the coach?
Nah, I blame everyone, man. I blame everyone. I would expect it to be a situation where everybody sits down. But while you are here, agent, I want to get your thoughts on financial fair play.
Oh, there's this saying that if I've been represented in court, this is a trick that I'm teaching you guys. If you're represented in court and we hear your lawyer saying the spirit of the law says, just know that you're going to prison. So I think the problem is most people understand the spirit of financial fair play. They don't understand what is financial fair play.
I disagree. Even the spirit is not understood. Even the spirit, I'm sorry, even the spirit is not understood.
You can say that also. Because I think also on top of it, what do you want to achieve with financial fair play? Are you trying to make this is the reason why laws are not made to target one person. Are you trying to make the league more competitive? If it's more competitive, why not say you want to do the American style top 8, qualify into what, and then
the playoffs.
Knockouts, playoffs? Yeah, that will be more entertaining. That will be more competitive.
We are not Americans, more.
No, I think you just want competitiveness.
Americans don't even consider this game one of the games that they like. You want to have basketball about the playoffs and stuff. They don't come for years and years to end. No, a season that we work with, a schedule that we work with. Not that long thing after 8 teams play playoffs and then number 1 has to play a Western Conference and whatnot.
No, but here's what I'm coming from, that there's creative ways to make the league competitive. Because what was the reason behind financial fair play? It was to ensure that teams don't go bankrupt, essentially. So by targeting Sundowns with financial fair play.
Don't zoom past that. Please explain it, because I don't think people get why who asked for financial fair play and why.
I think there was a lot of teams which were going bankrupt. Remember, they were trying to compete with the big guns. You end up spending more than you're making. You end up borrowing from banks. You end up borrowing from other loan sharks, and you end up not being able to repay your debts, and So teams generally, went bankrupt, and also that also helped. What is the word? Bringing the league into disrepute on top of it. So I think that was essentially to start with that teams are. It wasn't meant to maybe rain down on the rich. I think it was meant more punish the rich. It was more meant to help the lower clubs be able to be more sustainable. Something which we as South Africans we want that. We want a Magesi team to be here for the next 10, 15 years. So I think that is the first thing, And then when you go to financial fair play, what you're saying is you have to break even.
Yeah.
And that is difficult. Just to break even. Because the costs, you can make sure that the costs are not as a true reflection.
Yeah.
We've seen with Mangini that he was being paid via Abu Dhabi so that the costs go low.
Yeah.
So what's going to stop Motsepe from telling guys that, no, don't work, man. I'll give you a lump sum when you are done via my company.
or a sponsor coming in and saying, I'm sponsoring Sundowns right now because 3 years from now, I might have a project that's going to run with the Motsepe Foundation.
Exactly. I was coming to the other side, that the costs are going to be depreciated and you go to the revenues.
Yeah.
My guys, Sundowns doesn't need a sponsor. Sundowns is a sponsor on its own. It doesn't need a sponsor. Motsepe can a sponsor. That's how to Ubuntu. They don't have to go to BMW and need a sponsor. Motsepe already can sponsor himself.
Marakere, if they close that tab, we're saying that who's more likely to get sponsorship or to get their cost covered by someone else?
Yeah, no, I think that's where we are. Like, I know one day, soon, like I said, in 3 years from now, I'll be working on a joint project with the Motsepe Foundation, and they will take 40% and I'll take 60%, just that the other money is diverted to Sundowns, so it's extremely difficult. Look at what Chelsea have done.
Yeah.
What Chelsea have done is they're able to sell a hotel to themselves and put that as revenue. You look at what
Chelsea hotel. Anyway.
So it's not solving anything. That's what I'm saying. What is it that you're trying to achieve?
And can I jump in there? What happened in England is that they needed to add more rules on top. So they had financial fair play, then they added PSR, profitability and sustainability rules. So what they were finding is exactly what we're speaking about, that teams, so let's say Agent has a team and I have a team. He's sponsored by Qatar Airways, I'm sponsored by the Emirates, let's say. What they were finding is that Agent's deal is 10 million, right? My deal is 150. So what they're trying to regulate now is to go, what does a deal look like? Because all of these guys can just call each other. Like they can literally just call and say, hey, Emirates, these people are cracking down on me with money that's coming into the club. Let's sponsor me here, and then my third company will do a project with you where we are going to pay you back, basically. So they found that the teams were going around. But the biggest thing, the problem for me with financial fair play, and let's take away all of these things. I want to take away every single thing that we're speaking about now, all the people you can call and everything. If you take away owners' ability to put money into a club, I think 90% of the league is gone. 90% is dead. Because
no, if Nike and Jordan stop pouring money for PSG will be a dead rubber team again.
No, it's like Bidvest Vids. Remember Bidvest Vids? They were getting their money from Bidvest. So when Bidvest divested, so Bidvest went, we can't keep funding this team. The moment Bidvest took out its money, Vit died. Right, that's what's rumored to be happening to Supersport right now. MultiChoice is saying, listen, we can't justify this expense anymore. So the moment they pull out, Supersport United dies, right? So that's what's going to happen in the league because,
Right.
again, 90% of the league is literally funded by external things. And, yeah? Butlal?
We are solving a problem that's not there, OT. We are solving a problem that's not there. OT, there's this, I think it's the channel is called Cash and Sport. OT.
Yes. Yeah.
He made a video on, you know, sport. Yes, shout out to him, a brilliant video. He made a video on, you know, the club sponsorships, right, in the PSL. And he said that most of the clubs in the PSL who do have shared sponsorships are companies of the owners of
Yes.
T.
Rama.
The owners,
Rupert.
exactly. The owners. I mean, Rupert is an exception because he owns everything. So he can't get, you know, offers from a company that's not his because he owns South Africa. He owns everything in South Africa. I mean, they go on Remgro and see the companies the man owns. It's a madness. So
But technically, he could say, Rama, give these guys 200 million a year. Technically, he could.
Yeah, but get shall I die at the end of the day? Get shall I die? Right? So most of the teams like Richards Bay, one of their owner, their shed, the Parkway Gas on their shed is their owner's company, right? So if FFP is out, if we imply FFP in the PSL, that means we also remove that.
Yeah.
You say owners companies can sponsor their teams. OT. We are solving a problem that's not. And do we understand the pool that Sundowns has? Sundowns has an insane pool. OT. Sundowns corporate South Africa is too small for Sundowns. Corporate South Africa is too small. They won't give Sundowns enough money. Sundowns has pool on the continent. They will get sponsored by teams on the continent. By companies on the continent. So we are solving a problem that's essentially it doesn't exist. OT.
But I want us to break down that point, Butala. I want you to stick on that point. I use an example to say, let's say Butala, you're a sponsor. You have 300 million to spend, and financial fair play is working. Let's say financial fair play is on and no owners and whatever. You are an external sponsor who wants to come sponsor.
Yeah.
When you look at the teams in the league, how many teams would you actually put your money into?
Thank you.
And would Sundowns not be top of the list, 15-time league champions?
Yes.
One of the only teams that have been, one of the 3 teams that have been here since '96. They play on the continent. They've got an African footprint. They're now playing Club World Cups. Would you not sponsor that team?
If we do not include Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, what is the return on investment for me as a sponsor? What am I getting back? If my company, let's say I own a company and I say, okay, let me get a PSL team to have a shared sponsor. And let me put you on the.
But you're cutting, man.
Yeah, but you're cutting.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you there, OT, you know.
Yes.
And also, before I ask you, I think one of the main issues is we don't have an active PSL board, you know. Sundowns can sign a 12-year contracts for amortization. Are they going to be able to close that loophole, you know?
Will they want to close it?
Will they want to close it? You know, we see what Barcelona is doing with selling future rights. You know, there's a lot of funny business. But
having wedding.
My question, but my question is the problem that teams? This is why I go back to the spirit of FFP. Is the problem that owners are spending beyond their means, or owners are not spending enough,
Yeah.
or maybe with combination that we don't have owners which are rich enough to run clubs. What is the problem here?
For me, honestly speaking, for me, is that they're spending money recklessly. I'm gonna add I'm gonna add another option. Teams are spending money, guys. Like money. Whenever people say that money is not big, teams are spending money. But when we drill down to what teams are spending money on, you start to ask questions. I will use my beloved Kaizer Chiefs agent as an example.
Exactly. Talk talk about it.
We signed how many players this season, right?
Hey,
All of that, there's signing bonuses, there's wages, there's the contracts that already existed at Kaizer Chiefs that are sitting, there's players who are sitting in the stands. That's all money, right? So now when I look at that, Chiefs obviously commercially they've got the ability to go and get money elsewhere. But look across the league, how many teams have an identity assigning good players or players that fit the mold are playing well? Or is everybody just every season you are just you are just throwing money in the dark or throwing darts in the dark and hoping to hit something? That's my issue here. Like, I'm not asking every team agent to be Mamelodi Sundowns. But what we're saying is that at number 5, can you be the consistent number 5 team that we need in the league that can stay there consistently? You know, can you do certain things at a certain level? But then it's like, okay, here's what. I don't understand this, agent. We say we don't have money, but then you take the little money that you have and you spend it recklessly. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Exactly, OT. This is why Pirates are going to win the league, because they are buying everybody they just find. Why can't these coaches do that? If we're authority or born, they take care of their own players so that they can fight both teams that turn and the Sundowns and stop being bankrupt.
Can I take it? For me, I don't even believe in that. The coach shouldn't be dictating your signings, in my opinion. The signings should work with the philosophy of the club, and the coach should be working with the philosophy of the club so that everything they do is in one line. Say what you want about Fleming, but Hashem, the way Sundowns run is anyway. Agent.
Yeah, I think for me, we need to find South African problems or South African issues, right? I think as a team, any team that wants to be given what is the book called? Licensed to be licensed. They must provide a 10-year plan, for what they're gonna do in 10 years, and finances that they should be set aside. 10-year money set aside, managed by an independent trust that, okay, you're going to be pulling here, because I think the problem is you get teams which are with the owners who are not sure exactly what are you trying to do here, and I think also in that 10-year money, that money can be said 10% or 50% of that money is for signings. What money is for this and the development, this. And anytime you want to improve the money, you can improve, but you can't decrease that money. You can improve the money. For any team, whether you are Sundowns, whether you are what, you can just bring in the money, and we can have a floor instead of a ceiling. We can have a floor of the money that a team should spend for it to be competitive in a league, So I think that's one solution that we have. And
can I play devil's advocate though?
Yeah.
Is the league in that space, or are we the league the way it is because we're basically begging people to take over teams? So it's almost like a take what you can get. If Bloemfontein Celtic is about to die, hey man.
Oh yeah, on Bloemfontein Celtic is a sidebar. I've had the they finally sold the naming right, by the way, and the team is gonna start in NFD. But anyways, instead of Supersport. But anyways, so to the point is, even if you are beggars, even if you are a beggar, you are selling, you are telling us that you are going to buy money. You know, to run a team in PSL is 5 million a year, right? I mean, a month, whatever they're saying, a month.
Well, the lowest, the
lowest, and we know 2 million. Okay, let's start 5 million times 12. No, it's not even 12. It's how much? It's 8.
Yeah.
It's 8 months. So that's what, 40 million.
Yeah.
And you know, from that 40 million, 16 million is from the league. So which means what? You need around what?
Around 20.
Whatever. 24. Yeah, 24. So it means 24 times 10, 240. Set aside. You know, even if that money is being paid in installments of every year, still fine. You know, but at least to run an effective team every year before you get your license, you must provide that 40 million upfront, at least, or 24 million, sorry, 24 million upfront. You know, so I think those are one of the things that we need to look at. And also, I think another point that you mentioned, which is something that I agreed with, was proper vetting. There's no way, with due respect, you allow Momkiza to own a team, given that we know of his stress, alias with 04 there with SARS, you know, so this day was coming, you know.
Yeah.
So, but the point is, can we be creative with what with our problems? And on top of it, teams which are just been promoted, you know, that grant should never be the same as that of the other teams. Other teams have been here. You know, if anything, maybe the first 6 months they should have more money than the other teams just to settle in. That will increase the competition, you know. And again, the other issue should of in NFD, what is the issue? The age, what, you know?
Yeah.
I think we have to look at it and say, is it effective? How many young players are we getting there who are playing in the national team? Because the problem that you guys wanted to sort out has been sorted out by DDC. So is the rule effective now? That's what I'm saying. The PSL board takes time to react to decisions. So I think that's what is killing the other team. So yeah, but the main point is, let's look for creative solutions. If you want to make the league competitive, let's come with that. If you want to make the team long lasting, let's come up with solutions for that.
Okay. No, I wanted to get your thoughts on that, guys. 92nd minute. We've got about a minute left of this game that is happening. I know, guys. There's not much going on this pitch. It is 1-1.
One question though, Oti. How many points did Sundowns win by the league last season and the season
23.
before?
33 and 16, I think.
So this season has how much?
I'm checking now. 12. Yo. As it stands, 12.
With 2 games you cannot play.
Yeah, well, if you account for that, it would have been 18, most probably.
Improvement. Good night, Mr. Oti.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. Yo, people have been fighting me already. Okay, guys. So it is 1-1. Like we're speaking right now, if it ends like this, Mamelodi Sundowns would take the league by 12 points. 12 points would be the gap between Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. A slight improvement on what happened last year, 23 points, but very similar to the year before where it was 16. Sundowns continues on this march, and fortunately or unfortunately, Ernst Middendorp still remains the most successful non-Sundowns coach in the last couple of years. So that is how the league is going to shake out. Very interesting conversations that we're having, guys. Sometimes, you know, we hear things that are said. We need to know why those things are being said, how things work and stuff like that. That is where I really have a passion for speaking about things like financial fair play and things, because I feel like it's words that are thrown around, but we're not quite sure. And again, it's not that we are right or whatever, but it's conversations that need to be had so we all understand what is happening. Guys, halftime. Guys, I am going to then log off now. So I will be back on Friday. Friday, we're going to do the preview, obviously, of the Champions League game. Very, 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 very important game in Sundowns history and also in South African football history. So we're going to be talking about that right now. Pyramids played in a game where they were able to win 5-1 versus, let me just put up the Ceramica Cleopatra. Unfortunately, they couldn't get a rest this week. It's something that Pyramids has been complaining about. So Mamelodi Sundowns, it's not just you guys who are complaining about that. And then, on the other side, Ahly beat Farco 6-0. Neither here nor there. So we're going to be winding up for that. Now the league is officially over. Well, the league is almost over. There's still 45 minutes to be played tomorrow at Lucas Moripe. We're going to see Golden Arrows versus Supersport. The reason why that game is important is that if Supersport manages to win, it's 1-1 half time in that game. To win that game, they jump over Cape Town City. They play in the playoffs. And if Supersport loses, Cape Town City is safe and Supersport has to go into the playoffs. So that is a very, 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 very interesting thing that is happening there. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I know it was a preseason game that we were watching. I have an interview that's out with Amanda Dlamini. Very, very, very insightful interview. Please check that out on YouTube, as well as other content that I drop. My podcast is going to be dropping tomorrow. So please look out for that. If you want to listen to it right now, head on over to Spotify, search the George Mokwena podcast, and you'll be able to hear my full thoughts about financial fair play, my full thoughts about team ownership and why it doesn't matter that Sundowns is not making a profit in the eyes of Tate Motsepe. So please check that out.
Taz, a pirate, ngiphakamisa ukuqolisa kakhulu into eyenzekile.
Ama-fans we-Pirates, man, ngiphakamisa ukuxolisa kakhulu ngento eyenzakele. But in any case, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you then. Oh, wait, before I go, thank you to Mapule Nkuna, Itumeleng. Thank you so much for the gifts on that side. To those watching on YouTube, to those in the comments, to those that jumped in. I'm forever thankful. Bye, everyone.